What's up, y'all? This your boy Eddie Jacks. This is the Drop That Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Layback TV, okay? Over 10,000 channels, movies on demand, every sports channel, all the HBOs, all the languages, and you can check them out on laybacktv.com so you can see how you can download it on your iPhones, Androids, and your Fire Sticks. And go give them a shout out on their Instagram on official_laybacktv. Now, let's get into some interesting news. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. All right, guys. This is going to be kind of like a mixture of entertainment, fight, and hip-hop. Okay, so let's get into the first thing. It was a major announcement. I know you guys already know Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano, May 11th at the Intuit Dome, Netflix. Francis Ngannou versus Felipe Lins. But a third fight has been added to this, and that's Nate Diaz. That's right, Nate Diaz, Stockton's own, taking on Platinum Mike Perry in a 5-minute, 5-round MMA fight. Mike Perry and Nate Diaz returning to the MMA cage. If y'all know who Nate Diaz is, you better ask somebody, okay? He's went into a back-to-back bout with Conor McGregor. He's one of the originators of the BMF situation, UFC legend. He's dabbled in boxing twice. Let me see, his big brother Nick Diaz, the Diaz brothers, you know what I mean? Diaz Mafia, whatever the hell they're fucking called. I think it's the Fight Inc. I think it's his company or something like that. And then you got Mike Perry, who's the king of violence over there at BKFC. He dabbled in boxing. These two guys are two of the top. I'm sorry. These are two former opponents of Jake Paul in boxing. He defeated them both. But now they're going at it in MMA. This is insane because now you got an interesting setup for MVP, in MMA on Netflix, because this is 1 month before the White House card for the UFC. And 3 fights, these triple headliners, these triple main events are already looking like they're better than fucking the White House card so far. I said to my boy, and I said this to my bro, if we get 2 or 3 fights that trump the fucking White House card, this is living up to being better than what the UFC is gonna bring. Just saying. But this is definitely a fuck you to the UFC because Nate Diaz could have been a shoo-in to be at the White House card or International Fight Week in a trilogy against Conor McGregor. Not going with the UFC and going with Jake Paul and Nikista over there at MVP just guarantees now we're never going to get Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor in the UFC again. That trilogy is done. Mike Perry, that's interesting what he's going to do. I thought his next fight was going to be at BKFC. It turns out it's not going to be. I don't know. I don't know who I got winning this fight because as far as cardio goes, Nate Diaz is fucking on fire with his cardio. He does a triathlon. I forgot what the fuck it's called with the bicycles and shit. So cardio ain't gonna help Mike Perry. I think it's gonna be a skill set. Even on the floor, you can't fuck with Nick Diaz. Nate Diaz is definitely a jiu-jitsu master. I guess it's gonna have to be standing. Let's see how far this could go because Mike Perry, he's still got power. But that's an interesting setup. So May 11th, y'all get ready. Nate Diaz, Mike Perry, it's going down. What do we got next? Jay-Z. So we've been getting a lot of little announcements here and there of classic songs from Jay-Z that's going to DSPs and streamings for the first time. I didn't even know that they never been on the fucking DSPs or streaming. But apparently certain songs have been. You got Nigga What, Nigga Who. You got Dead Presidents. That's another one. So a few joints that, have been posters everywhere. Jay-Z is going to be a part of the Roots Philly Picnic. He's going to be headlining with the Roots. So I guess, we're going to get some Jay-Z music over there in Philly. I think that's the end of May. Might be May 30th or something like that. But something huge is going to be celebrated July 10th and July 11th over there at Yankee Stadium. It's going down. So July 10th is going to be Jay-Z 30, which is the 30th anniversary special of Reasonable Doubt. His debut album that came out in 96. It's going to be 30 years of Reasonable Doubt. So I'm guessing July 10th, we're going to hear nothing but the album of Reasonable Doubt. I'm kind of interested on how that's going to go. You know what I mean? It's going to be pretty entertaining. Maybe he might have some features there. Can't Knock the Hustle, you might see with Mary J. Blige. It's fucked up. We can't get Brooklyn's Finest, because Biggie's on that joint. We might get Dead Presidents. Who knows? We might see Nas, show up. Be a little conflicting because, Nas is a Mets fan. So I guess we'll see with that. That's a good celebration. And on July 11th, we're going to get Jay-Z 25, which is the 25th anniversary celebration of the Blueprint album that came out 9/11/2001. You know what I'm saying? The Blueprint. That's going to be interesting because, we're going to get like joints like H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy, Girls, 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 Song Cry, Digga, Jigga, That Nigga Jigga. Maybe one of my favorite joints that Timbaland produced on that album, Hola Ovito, or even Renegade. Maybe we might see Eminem, join them at Yankee Stadium and perform Renegade. But that's dope. That's dope. I want to see how that's going to go. I wonder what's this all going to be about at the end. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of posters with Jay-Z. Pretty much releasing old music. I don't want to say old music. I don't want to take away from the legacy, but music that is from his catalog that's streaming allegedly for the first time. We've been getting that. Then there's the announcement of the Roots Picnic that's going to be headlined with Jay-Z performing with the Roots. And now we got this, Jay-Z 30, July 10th of Reasonable Doubt anniversary, 30th anniversary. And then July 11, Jay-Z 25, 25th anniversary of the Blueprint, all live at Yankee Stadium. I wonder what this means. Some people say it's new music with Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Are we ready for a Jay-Z album? Some people say we might get a Jay-Z album. We might have Travis Scott on it. Obviously, we got to have his wife Beyonce on it. It'll be interesting. What is a Jay-Z album going to sound like in 2026? Because it's been 9 years since his last solo album, 444. 444 is not personally one of my favorites. It's not even in my top 5. But if we're never going to get Jay-Z albums ever again, I don't want that to be the last album. You know what I'm saying? A 444 definitely should have been the last album. If there should have been a last album, should have been Magna Carta Holy Grail or something like that. But I want to know. Like, are we going to get a brand new material? Are we going to get a sequel? We had Jay-Z is in his catalog. He has 3 trilogies. You know what I'm saying? He has In My Lifetime Volume 1. He has Volume 2, Hard Knock Life. He has The Life and Times of S. Carter, Volume 3. And then we got Blueprint 1, Blueprint 2, Blueprint 3. You know what I'm saying? So what are we going to get? You know what I'm saying? What kind of new music are we going to get? Is it going to be the retirement? Because I personally feel like there are 3 runner-ups. One of these 3 names is going to be performing at the Super Bowl next year. I'm calling it right the fuck now. Okay? I'm calling it right now. It's going to be 3 names. And these 3 names can perform in a stadium. They have a discography, a catalog, plenty of material that will make the crowd go crazy. And it won't look like anything like Kendrick Lamar's little story on the field or Bad Bunny's little story on the field. Like, we're going to get an actual live performance, like we used to. You know what I'm saying? I think there's only 3 guys that can pull it off. One of them is Kanye West, one of them is Chris Brown, and the other is Jay-Z. And I'm calling it right now, one of those 3 are going to be performing at the Super Bowl. But let's see. I think we're getting new music from Jay. I hope we do. I want to see what it sounds like. I want to see what producers he's going to have. It could be Metro Boomin. It could be Hit Boy. I guarantee it's going to be Hit Boy. I mean, Hit Boy's got some, records with Jay, so it's not too far-fetched that we don't get that. Timbaland is still in there. Swiss Beats, definitely. It'll be interesting to see what that goes. You know what I'm saying? But let's see. Verzuz is coming back March 26th. Verzuz. This one ain't for the hardcore hip hop fans. It ain't none of that bullshit. This is for the ladies. I can't hear you. Ladies, where you at? Ladies, where you at? We got Tank versus Tyrese. Interesting. One nigga I think gonna be on that stage is gonna be Genuine, okay? Because Tank, Genuine, Tyrese, they're the legendary group TGT. So, I mean, there ain't no beef with this. You know what I'm saying? Tank, Tyrese, they're friends. They're definitely TGT collaborators. So that's gonna be interesting. I want to see. A lot of people will favor Tyrese to win this one. I want to see how. How would you think if Tank came out and whooped his ass? You know what I'm saying? This is a celebration in the end of the day. This is an R&B celebration. And what's going to be fucked up about this Verzuz? Is that Tank and Tyrese are going to fucking show you how to do Verzuz. How it's supposed to go. I'm talking 20 rounds with your best material. This is what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going to happen. How, like, they got to perform right. You know what I'm saying? I know, hopefully we don't get no bullshit like Mario versus Omarion, because everybody was assuming Omarion was going to whoop Mario's ass. And Mario came there, outperformed Omarion. That was fucking crazy. Ray J even fucked it up for everybody. So let's see. Let's see how it's going to go. But I'm expecting Tyrese to pull off the dub. Definitely Sweet Lady, if he performs that shit, you know, that's going to be a loss. That's going to be a loss for Tank. But let's see. Maybe Tank got some shit. You know, I want to see. So shout out to Swiss and Tim for giving a little treat for the ladies. Verzuz March 26th, Tank versus Tyrese. All right, before we get out of here, I want to speak on one thing, okay? I rewatched the fight. I'm talking Brand Risk Promotions, Blueface versus Chibu. I watched the fight. Even though I watched it live, it was more of the entertainment and the hype at the time. But I watched it. I scored the fucking fight this time. I sat there and I watched the fight very carefully. And I scored it. 6 rounds. I scored it to see, was the Florida Athletic Commission full of shit with the judges that they assigned to this main event fight? Because apparently they were fucking up the whole night. I want to see. Because I think they had a shit box for a fucking referee. You know what I mean? All the holding, the shoving, like, what kind of fucking warnings was she doing? I don't fucking know. I think Florida Athletic Commission dropped the fucking ball on this. But if you didn't see the streams with Academics before, Aiden Ross was on stream with Academics, who was also Blueface and Chibu on the call, and they bet. Academics and Aiden Ross bet. First they bet 10K, okay? The 10 racks that they bet, but they upped it to 20. I think it was Aiden who upped it, right? With the condition that, let's say Academics, he bet on Blueface 20 racks, and Aiden bet on Chibu, okay? If Blueface was to knock out Chibu, Academics gets 20 racks from Aiden Ross. And because it was a KO, 10 of those racks goes to Blueface. That was the setup. We'll get to the rest of it, but here's what I did with the fight. I watched the fight. Round 1, Blueface. Round 2, Blueface. Round 3, Blueface. Okay? Now, round 4 gets dicey, because I will give Blueface some credit. He had the better head movement. Okay? Ducking, dodging, he had better head movement. Little cocky for my taste. You know, this motherfucker was always getting cocky, and then how you getting cocky but you getting hit in the face a couple of times? You know what I mean? It's kind of fucking weird. I guess whatever the game plan was, he went against that shit. The footwork, I will give it to Chibu. 4th round, Okay, that's 3 rounds already for Blueface. 4th round, it could go either way. It could go either way. It could go to Blueface. It could go to Chibu. I kind of made it a draw with that round because they were both. It was going back and forth. Round 5, I gave it to Chibu. Chibu got him tired. It's a wrap. No matter how he did it, he still got him tired. Chibu was winning. Winning that round. Round 6, final round, I gave it to Chibu. Now here's the shit. Let's say round 4 you gave it to Blueface. That's 4 rounds to 2. Okay? Blueface wins. Now, let's say you gave the 4th round to Chibu. That's 6 rounds, 3 rounds apiece. That's a draw. So it doesn't matter if you gave the 4th round to Blueface or Chibu. It's either a unanimous decision for Blueface or a fucking draw for both. How the fuck was this a unanimous decision for Chibu? Okay? That's crazy. So I think I will agree that Blueface got fucked out of that fight. You know what I'm saying? He got on the mic at the end. And Aiden Ross was... I don't know why the fuck Aiden Ross was even interviewing him. That looked very suspicious to me. The black dude with the glasses and the chain, I forgot his fucking name. He's usually the guy who's interviewing the fighters. Why is Aiden? Aiden was at the fucking table, commentary, with Charleston White, Rampage Jackson, UFC legend, former light heavyweight champion, Whack 100, and who the fuck, who else was the last person? Damn, I forgot the fucking name. It was 5 of them. Shit, it's a famous, shit, who the fuck, I forgot who it was. Damn, I forgot who it was. My fault. My fault if I forgot who you were. But Whack 100 was there. Aiden Ross was there at the table. Rampage Jackson and Charleston White. They're all there. They're all there. All stars, on the table. And fucking Aiden Ross is the one interviewing Blueface, which is fucking weird. They even got a fucking belt. When did they ever get a belt? It's not even a world title. But he asked him, yo, you want to come when you're going to fight again for brand risk? You're going to come for the rematch? Who you want next? And Blueface took a different way and said, yo, I don't know about coming back to brand risk because Aiden, you be rigging the fights. You know what I mean? Now, as a representative of brand risk, I thought it was very suspicious that Aiden is betting on his fighter, Chibu. You know what I'm saying? And apparently there's some breach of contract now because Blueface didn't get paid his $300K or whatever the fuck it was. Because, one, he didn't Ray-Ban, he didn't wear the patch that wasn't supplied to him on his trunks. So that's a sponsorship that he didn't wear, but it's supposed to be supplied to him. And apparently he mentioned how much he's getting paid. If you say you're getting more than $300K, but you're getting a specific number like $550K, you didn't really state how much you made. You just said around the rough. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a real fuck up for brand risk, and definitely a fuck up on Aiden Ross's name, because now it's more like you paid Adam 22 to fight Jason Love, where he didn't even throw a fucking punch, and it lasted, less than 40 seconds in the first round, which is a TKO, and Adam still got paid. The whole 6 rounds was performed by Blueface, even though he took the L, and I think it was a screw job on that. He didn't even get paid. So this could get nasty, and this could make... I don't think this would stop streamers and YouTubers and so forth fighting, but I think this is going to be a question mark, rather, if anybody wants to fuck with Aiden and brand risk. You know what I'm saying? Blueface was practically your biggest star in the main event. And now that biggest star is like, who are you going to get bigger than Blueface at the time? You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck are you going to get? You're not going to get nobody. So I think Aiden Ross needs to make shit right. I don't think you want to fuck with Whack 100. It seemed like he's got all his ducks in a row. He's ready if this shit got to go to court. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Aiden Ross will be touching down in California anytime soon, but they really need to stop doing brand risk fights in Florida. I'm not even sure if this is a real athletic commission who's assigning these judges and referees. If it is, something needs to happen. They need to do something different. I'm not saying come to California, because that athletic commission is even shit, but they got to do something. But I got Blueface winning that fight, or it's a draw. It's one or the other. But should they do a rematch? No, because I don't think that they're even close to each other's weight class. That's just some bullshit. So I think they got to make it up to Blueface. They got to give him his pay, and they got to fucking put him with a actual opponent that's gonna sell the fight. You know what I'm saying? Not some big dude who's overweight and shit. That's just fucking unprofessional. But hopefully they get it right. I feel like there's going to be some turmoil going on from now on with Aiden Ross. I mean, a lot of people don't like Aiden Ross anyway. A lot of people that I know who are streamers and YouTubers, podcasters, they all want to punch Aiden in the fucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? And this is a bad look for him for going out doing all this bullshit. And his sister just passed away. Condolences to that family as well. Yeah, he need to straighten the fuck out, because this is gonna hurt his brand as well, because it is a brand risk. But that's all we got. This is your boy Eddie Jackson to Drop That Podcast. Make sure you hit that sub button, like, comment. Let me know if you think Blueface lost in a unanimous decision, a draw, or you think he won. All right, y'all be easy. Peace.